It says we're
little.
live.
Don't hold up the little one. Hold up the big
Oh,
one.
I will. I'll just.
We're people of a certain age. We need to be able to read.
Yeah.
As I was telling everybody yesterday or today, yesterday I was wearing shorts, a t-shirt, and flip flops. Today
And I'm in a sweater.
he's in a sweater.
50
Cedar's in a
degrees.
sweatshirt. It's like I don't know why you're sending money, but send money so we can, whatever the weather's doing that particular day, we can deal with it.
And I'm wearing wool socks. Send money, wool socks.
I swear to God, don't make me get up here and start singing the arms of the angels. If you like coffee, talk to King Harv's. Be sure you let them know you heard about it from us. Is it cold there? Yes. Yes, it is cold here. It
It was
right.
38 this morning at 6:30, Sarah.
It
After
ain't
a
right.
high of 88 yesterday.
Yeah, it's 88 yesterday, 38 when I got up this morning. If you like Smartass t-shirts, contact this guy. tinyurl.com among the leaves tees for all your Smartass t-shirt needs.
Yeah.
It's cold. It's
Yeah, John, I was about to ask what your effing dinner is. Yeah, somebody else is having problems typing.
yes.
You know, it is Texas weather. It is supposedly the middle of winter, and Texas weather is schizophrenic. We all know that.
Canada needs to come get their weather. It's drunk in my backyard.
Yeah.
Well, the reality is that the highs of the last couple of days, and it's going back up again this coming few days, that's a false spring.
Oh yeah.
And I am really crossing my fingers and hoping my fruit trees don't decide, ooh, it's time to bloom. Because then I'll lose all my fruit potential.
I walked out this morning. I was pointing my fig. Don't even think about it.
No, figs are wise. Figs won't leaf out for a while.
I'm not sure how wise this one is.
Yeah. Now, Todd says, deport it. Yes.
Slap a tariff on it.
Yeah.
The whole tariff thing has been hilarious.
Yeah.
It's this beautiful little cycle. Trump says we shall tariff.
Yeah.
Everyone panics, loses their mind. Tariffs, prices. The country that Trump has said he's going to tariff caves in.
Yeah. Negotiates.
Negotiation. What an amazing.
And I'm here to tell you, this was a rant I was doing with these two earlier. The Internet University, the diploma printer go burr because the number of experts on various stuff has been greater than normal.
Yeah.
Greater than normal.
Saying something given how the internet is.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't realize that there were this many people that were experts on tariffs these experts have so far been wrong.
Yeah.
On USAID, they started wrong and haven't gotten any better.
Yeah.
Who can and does security clearances?
Yeah.
Who has them? What they're actually good for? And in my particular, I love the fact that all of a sudden I've got a whole bunch of randos on the internet who are telling me how you do a forensic audit.
Yeah. That one, yes.
We got okay. Please, there will be multiple rants, but we'll start with this one. If you are, say, as a for instance, somebody at this table may or may not have been part of an organized crime task force at one time, and despite what you see in Hollywood, the way you go after organized crime is you get them in the money. They always screw up the money. So you have audits. And the way process, you have an entity, organization, agency, whatever you think might be dirty. And if USAID, it's dirty. We'll get to that here in a bit. Let's say you have this organization you think is dirty. So you get a whole bunch of your pencil neck geeks that have the little green eye shades and pocket protectors and genius level IQs, and they go in behind some rhinos. They go in the door and they post up on every computer, and they don't let anybody touch the computer.
Mhm.
And the geeks come in and they download a copy of everything on the computer. Then they leave the computer alone because the computer is now what we call evidence or possible evidence. So they take the copy and they go to a workroom and they start tearing it apart. That's where they find, and if they don't find anything, it's good. Nothing's happened to the working computers. If they do find stuff, they start, making case files in which the stuff that's on the computer not being touched now becomes evidence in criminal prosecution. That's how it's always done. Everyone I've been involved in, and I've been the knuckle dragger. I've been the one standing there over somebody's shoulder going, off the keyboard. You don't get to touch this for 72 hours.
Yeah. And Wired, speaking of keyboards, went off the deep end and doxed.
That was dumb. Said pencil neck geeks.
Said pencil neck geeks who were going into USAID, among other places. And speaking of USAID,
y'all do realize that USAID is basically the financial part of the Department of Dirty Tricks?
Two of the agencies, quote unquote, they have been funding are the National Endowment for Democracy and the Institute for Study of War. The last time I looked, both of those are in the United States.
Goodness.
Yeah. Oh, and the other person they're funding is Billy Crystal.
The comedian?
No. The Never Trumper.
I don't.
Oh, he's been rabid anti-Trump.
Oh, has he?
Former national, I can't even remember the name of the National Review writer.
The USAID, from the get-go, and it started out with semi-noble intentions.
Yeah.
Was to influence other countries into doing things our way by way of greasing their palms.
Yep.
It started out that way. It went hard left. I don't know when. I do know in
that was Treasury, Jesse.
When I had a brief touch with during some bad times, when I was having to deal with those bug snipes on the regular, they had lost sight of their objective.
That's one way to put it.
Yeah. When they started in the 60s, they were there. It was soft power. It was influencing other countries to go our way. They were paying off the good guys or good-ish guys to. I remember the joke about I'd like to fund insurgency so I get my Hiluxes and pallet of cash.
Yeah.
USAID. That pallet of cash would stamp USAID. And like I said, they started out with the best intentions and went off the deep end. When I was dealing with them, they weren't good people.
Well, and Winklered's right. Bags of rice with their USAID logo found in Viet Cong and Khmer Rouge supplies in the 60s.
Well, that's not
that unusual.
It's not a surprise because I'm here to tell you that USAID guys are no more immune to this than the average American. And quite frankly, the average American, once 5 miles offshore, they don't have a freaking clue what goes on. But when you donate money or food or anything to the third world, it gets seen. And everybody knows what the third world is, right? First world is everybody that wasn't com block. Second world was communist bloc.
Yep.
Third world was everybody else. If any supplies, funding, aid, whatever that goes to the third world gets grabbed right off the dock by the local warlord. If you're sending rice to the Viet Cong, maybe 1 out of I gotta take the call, guys. Be right back.
Okay. Maybe 1 out of 20 would actually get to the people it was supposed to go to. The other problem was if you sent money, it went directly into the government coffers, usually into the pocket of whoever was in power at the time. British Quaker Aid was doing the same thing too. Yes. Yay! Makaido's getting his hip replacement on 24th February.
Yeah.
That's good news.
Yeah.
So
But if you had been in the third world, you have seen USAID food, rice, wheat, beans, in the original packaging for sale in the souks or the bazaars.
that doesn't mean that USAID sent the wrong people on purpose. They might have. They're dicks, but they might not have. It might have just been grabbed off the dock by your local warlord,
Or grabbed out of the airplane.
or out of the airplane, or snatched by a local warlord.
I knew Air Force loadmasters, C-130 loadmasters that had worked in Africa that said they watched pallets of USAID offloaded, food offloaded. When they circled back over the landing strip in the middle of the jungle, here came the warlords, stole everything, and ran the people it was supposed to go to off.
Yeah.
Or in several cases that
Ringo discussed that in the last Centurion.
Several cases my father and I saw personally. Beans and corn, mealie, courtesy of the United States, went to Africa, and the UN was there to make sure warlords didn't take it over. So the villagers
stole it.
No, actually, for once they didn't. Mainly because my dad was there. Anyway, so the villagers came and got it, signed for it, took it back, and that night they turned it over to the warlords.
Yeah,
and they knew long sleeves or short sleeves. They knew not to open the bags, so warlords just waited. UN went, clocked out. They went and drove a Hilux through the Range Rover through the middle, and the villagers, every bit that was donated went into the pickups.
Yeah. Richard says Winston cigarette packs printed for U.S. Forces Lebanon, not for resale. For sale in Portugal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Hadid's military was doing the same thing in Somalia in the 90s. Oh, yeah.
And that was one of the things that blew my mind was the amount of, in government, the amount of shock. I can't believe there. It's like, are you, is there an adult present?
No.
Do you have a minder I can talk to? I can't believe that the Africans would do that. I'm sorry, I didn't realize you were a child. Is there an adult I can talk to?
It's not the Africans. It's not just the Africans.
No.
Well, the war on the people in the third world gets a lot more extensive and subtle than just sheer theft of the nominal aid that we send to them. I mean, between the conversation that I had with a professor and after an epidemiology class about the Ascaris epidemic in Africa and how simple it would be to keep the children from living with massive massive parasite loads all their lives.
Yeah.
It's very, very simple. It's very inexpensive. It would be a very easy thing to do. And this professor looked at me and said, but more of them would survive and the world is already overpopulated. And I didn't lose my poo because I needed the grade and knew I wasn't going to change my mind. But then if you look at the war on golden rice, because it was genetically modified and that was the handle that they got a hold of.
Saved eyesight throughout Africa.
And if you look at who was behind that, it is insidious and it is very real that they really don't want us to own anything. They don't want us to survive. They would like us all to be eating bugs and dying in the dirt while they live in their castles. It's
Digital sawdust makes a good point. Not only the economics, but if you dumped free rice on a country, you need to keep that country's rice farmers. If they have rice farmers. That's the problem.
Well,
right now, Chuck U. Schumer
Chuck you.
How many saw him get up with his can of Corona and his avocado and his smarmy smile and said, "This is what tariffs are going to do to you. Your beer is going to cost more, and you're not going to be able to get your guac."
My Shiner Bock is not going to cost more because of tariffs.
Yeah.
My Yingling is not going to cost more because of tariffs.
And the other thing is, the California avocados are bigger and taste better than the ones coming from Mexico.
Doesn't this have an avocado thing going somewhere?
But the Mexican avocados are cheaper, just like the Mexican bananas are cheaper. Hawaii grows bananas, better bananas than you get out of Mexico, but they're cheaper.
Also, when it comes to tariffs, internet,
Yeah.
there's everybody that freaks out about tariffs does not understand that tariff is not an instant. It's not.
No.
It does not have an instant effect on the economy. The economy is a vast engine with several fucking 11 billion parts running, which tariffs affect a small amount of. And just because tariffs, 25% tariffs on something does not mean the cost to you is going up 25%. There are a whole bunch of, there's time, there's influence of other things. Also, as far as the rice goes, if you're having to give rice to a country, their rice farmers either aren't growing any or the warlords are taking it all to sell for their own or use.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly, Dagamore. They don't understand tariffs. They sure as hell don't understand VAT.
Value added tax.
Yeah. You think 25% tariff's bad. There are countries in Europe where VAT, value added tax, is 40%. So that $40,000 car will cost you damn near $60,000.
Well,
your food is going to cost you more. By the way, it is now bad enough that when I ordered eggs at United yesterday, they said a 2 dozen limit.
Yep, saw that.
And
that's not because of tariffs.
No,
that's because
that is because
they've killed over 100 million chickens.
They whacked
because they're killing chickens, which may or may not be necessary.
Joe Biden ordered the whacking of chickens.
Yeah,
not choking, whacking.
Yeah. Yeah, as John says, that's what a, quote, fair tax that everyone is pushing for really is. It's VAT, yes. Tom, the SOFA, if it is actually acknowledged, is great. However, there are countries that will wave at SOFA and say, yeah, we agree with SOFA. Until something happens, and then all of a sudden they don't agree with SOFA.
As far as the bird
Status of Forces Agreement.
As far as the bird flu, I had something last week. Y'all know I wanted to hear, and it knocked me on my butt. And of course, I gave it to Rita because I'm a giver that way. So she finally went into the doctor, and they tested her for flu. And if I remember right, my little sweetheart told me that the flu she has was not one that they've got a test for.
Yeah.
And I'm here to tell you, it shut down the school system in Iowa Park, but it's a nasty little flu, but it's not the worst I've ever had. And they're testing for avian flu. It ain't showing up.
Yeah. Yeah, Dagamore, that's another good point. California Air Resources Board and Carter knocked down the Euro and Japanese diesels that were around back in the 70s. You used to could get a Hilux here.
Yeah.
With a diesel in it.
Oh, that's the chicken thing? The whole
chicken tax? Or yeah.
It's not a tax. It's the chicken thing. It was one thing that was intended to do something, and the side effect of it was that we can't get
unintended consequences.
Yeah.
Small, inexpensive pickup trucks here.
Yeah.
Yeah, my area of expertise is not South America. However, assuming I go heavily armed, I would love to go down to South America and get some of their small unibody pickups.
Bill says chicken tax. Yes,
Chicken
it was
tax.
a
Yeah,
chicken
it was
tax.
the chicken tax. Okay. I knew it was chicken something. I couldn't remember for sure.
South
but-
America gets these lovely small unibody pickup trucks. Volkswagen makes a killer.
Yeah.
Dodge makes a small unibody pickup. They're great, and I think they sell hotcakes here, but you can't get them because of some idiot government regulation.
Toyota Hilux is all over the place.
Hilux is everywhere.
It's up here.
Well, ironically, here and in Japan, you do not see pickup trucks in Japan.
Japan's got those cute little things that are like the size of this table. They're
Yeah.
adorable. It would be really fun to run around in one of those. I wouldn't want to go very far
No.
in it.
Not in Texas, because I would hate to have a Ram pickup stop and hike a tire on my little Japanese Uzma Guzit.
Yeah. I was laughing. I was thinking back a few years ago when I was up in Northern Virginia. A 3500 Ram with a smart car in the bed of the truck.
I
You know, it was his spare.
mean, why not?
Japanese mini trucks and vans. Yeah, you can get them if you're with the government. If you're outside of government, yeah, it'd be a cold day in hell.
I would love
There
it.
was one listed on Facebook Marketplace in our sales area just recently, and I eyeballed it hard. But
Yeah.
for $8,000, I'm not going to buy a toy.
I love small pickups. I'm a big fan of small pickups. Like I say, Volkswagen has this absolutely adorable unibody pickup they sell all over the place in South America. I'd like to get about 5 of them and bring them up here and sell them for 10 times what I paid for them.
AJ, I don't think a Dushka is on the options list for the U.S.
Well, now if you get a line item through USAID, you can have the optional extras, Dushku and Hydro
Yeah.
Rocket Pod. But, well, you could now that Musk is tearing his way through. Also, the whole thing about now being elected Elon to do anything. So he's an unelected bureaucrat, right? And so you didn't elect him to tear through USAID. Who's the boss and when did you of USAID and when did you elect him? You do realize he's tearing through unelected officials, right?
And Department of Education is next, and the way it's looking, after that
Right.
will be EPA.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's dealing with unelected people.
Yeah.
And who the hell? I would like to know who the hell decided that there was, quote, a fourth branch of government.
Yeah.
Because I have seen quotes from multiple
This
bureaucrats,
is going to take the next half hour.
multiple
I'm just gonna
bureaucrats
sit back and enjoy this.
announcing that they were the fourth branch of government there for checks and balances on the president.
Yeah.
That must be an annotated version of the Constitution. I don't ever recall
Well,
reading that.
It was like the idiots, as we were talking about earlier, that said, well, Doge is not in the Constitution.
Show me the ATF.
Yeah.
Show me USAID in the Constitution.
Department of Education.
Show me Department of Education.
Ad infinitum.
We can keep doing this
Oh, yeah.
all
Oh, yeah.
so
Oh, yeah.
long.
Yeah, the president can check them right into the audience. Apparently, there have been, as of today, at least 20,000 have taken the bailout.
Oh, good.
And I think there will be more coming.
The federal bureaucracy, and by federal bureaucracy, I mean the executive branch, of which the president is the constitutional head.
Yep.
The executive branch is one man, one vote. The president is the man, he has the vote. So all of these executive branch people, they're throwing their little hissy fits.
Yeah. Well,
Here is a jar of beans. There are 9 white and 1 black. And here's a pile of sticks. Start picking beans.
Doge is the Republican version of Pac-Man. Yeah. The other thing that's interesting, switch subjects for a minute. The software. Most of the government software is antiquated. Antiquated, to put it mildly.
Beyond. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's one of the issues, because having worked with that world a little bit, the first thing that happens when you get a contract to upgrade software is they open the kimono. So you see every bit of data in that entire system. And you have to port through that data to make sure, bless you, that everything that you touch is going to upgrade correctly, which it never does. A classic local case here was the software upgrade for the county. Remember that?
My God. For those of you who don't know, I'm going to spill a little bit of tea here. When Jim and I were at the sheriff's office, we're working at the sheriff's office, the financial software was called AbleTerm.
Yeah. Piece of shit.
And for those of you who don't know, and I could be wrong, but as it was explained to me, there's Unix, right? And there's not just one version of Unix, there are 3 versions of Unix.
At least.
There's one everybody uses, there's one that a lot of folks use, and there's another one that 3 llamas, a Mongolian, and Wichita County use.
Called BSE.
And AbleTerm was written in this outer Mongolian yak herder Unix.
And it was constructed on BASIC.
It was terrible. I know you couldn't back up. If you were looking for a line item, you go to a line item and you couldn't back out to, oh, that's not the one I wanted. You couldn't back out and back up the tree no. You had to close out, restart, and then look for the next one. That one wasn't. Listen to this man swear for 3 hours was amusing. That hurt me.
So they decided to upgrade the software for the county. And this will be a standard upgrade package. It'll take us a year to do the entire county's upgrade.
Oh, I didn't tell you. We went. Rita and I had lunch with somebody from the courthouse the other day.
They're still not upgraded, are they?
Everything's crazy.
Yeah.
Have you tried to pull a legal document off the county website? You can't.
I know. I was.
Boy, Floofy didn't like us.
Yeah, I was on the conversion team for about 15 seconds. When I started asking questions that they could not and would not answer. Now, when you add to that, there were certain offices in the county, the auditor might have been one of them, who absolutely refused to open the kimono. She was one. Another one was the county clerk's office. So when they did roll out the update and the upgrade, quote unquote,
boy, that was rocky as hell.
Nothing worked.
Nothing. I was on the transition team even for a shorter time than Jim was, because the rep that was selling us the thing, I call him Floofy.
Yeah.
Not fondly. So he said, I'm gonna take these counties where our software, I said, that's great. I had a 4th county. He said, okay, I want you to take to the county that hates your guts. The county that you sold product to and they hate your guts. He went, what?
Yeah.
Said, put it on that, well, Lieutenant, I'm not sure what that will. I said, you don't have to understand. I want to go to the county that hates your guts.
Yeah.
Next day, I was uninvited.
Yeah, Dagamore, I am kind of familiar with what you're talking about with the Army database. 40 column card system, space delimited, goes back to Fortran, if I remember correctly. So that goes back to the 60s. But, it's once again, it's the same thing. When I was ONR, we did a 2-year upgrade of software that took 9 years and never completed.
That doesn't surprise me.
Oh, it was an RPG. Thanks, Steve.
People don't understand, and there's a lovely meme going around that's got a bowl with Trump written on it in a Chinese shop, and it's you understand this is what I voted for.
Yeah.
I didn't necessarily vote for this, but I do understand. I have slightly better knowledge of what's happening in the government than the average Joe, and I'm not sure things can be fixed, but I do know that the trying to fix is going to hurt. It's going to hurt you. It's going to hurt me. It's going to suck. And the party that fixes or attempts to fix government is going to be tremendously unpopular because it's going to hurt.
Yeah.
Which is why nobody up until now has tried to fix what's wrong with government. We are so deep in the hole financially. The U.S. government is so deep in the hole financially. I don't know we can drag out.
Yeah.
And to drag out is going to require so much belt tightening, and so much the average Joe and Jane are gonna hurt that the party that does it is not going to get reelected. And then you have Trump, who doesn't care.
Yeah. Yeah. The other thing you got to think about too is based on what happened with some of the stuff with the crash up in DC. We're talking about the antiquated FAA system.
Yeah.
A friend of mine worked on that in 2002, 2003. The Lockheed software that is used throughout Europe was proposed in 2002, 2003.
Okay.
Because Lockheed was an aircraft manufacturer and they had gotten a contract for an airplane, they were passed over because it wasn't suitable. Yeah. So FAA was going to develop their own system. And where are we now? 2025, and we still do not have a system.
That's the U.S. government for you.
Yeah.
No, I don't mind, Trump and Musk and that weaponized autism that's following Musk around. Holy gods. Have you seen the CVs on some of those kids?
Yeah.
I actually knew about one of those kids before I even really knew who Elon Musk was, because I got all fangirl geeky over the kid that used AI to read the Herculaneum scroll.
Yeah.
I've actually written that into my fiction, memorializing that, because that's amazing.
Yeah, it's like squee. For those of you the Herculaneum, that there scroll is a roll scroll found in Pompeii. And it's Herculaneum
next door to Pompeii.
And it's somewhat toasty. And this kid wrote a program that enabled people to read it.
So you can't unroll it. It's it's physically not possible to unroll it. However, you can scan it. Very, very thin layer scans and build up a picture, so to speak, of what the writing on the scroll looked like. And then you can digitally unroll it and start to read it. There is no way that a human could do that. But the large model, the machine learning, can absolutely do the crunch through that in what would take multiple human lifespans, would take the computer a matter of, I'm sure.
Hey, Tiffany's on here. Hey, sweetheart, how are you doing? Hey, baby. TC Ross is on here from ICU.
She's been in the Discord. We've been
I'm not in Discord.
and I know, and you don't need to be because squirrels. But no, we've all been squeeing at Tiffany because we're so happy to see her.
Yeah.
And so happy to see her posting.
I'm
and being
happy to see her
coherent
being
and-
coherent. Is great.
Yeah.
So tired, sweetheart. We're sorry.
She's
No,
got a
and
long,
another-
she's got a long road ahead of her, but she's well on.
Another one of these sprogs that isn't old enough to have a beard, near as I can tell,
Yeah.
managed to decode an ancient language.
Yeah.
I mean, these kids weaponize autism for the win.
Yeah.
They're brilliant young men, and I mean, above and beyond the fact that my baby is 19 and a half, so I don't really want to be throwing shade at kids like they're his age.
Children,
Not that he could do that, but
diapers.
but if you look at the age of the young men that went to fight in World War One, World War Two, Vietnam,
Yeah.
one of the
Global War on Terror.
one of the X accounts that I follow memorializes every day somebody that died, multiple someones that
Yeah.
died in Vietnam. And these kids were babies,
Oh yeah.
but they went and they died for their country. And I mean, these kids, hopefully, please God, none of them dies for their country, but they're doing
Oh.
work for their nation.
We
Oh,
lost literally generations.
Yes.
oh yeah.
Yes.
World War
World
One.
War One.
Yeah.
That's-
Germans, French,
Yes.
English, and to a certain extent, Americans lost
Yes.
a generation.
And the
One of-
ripples of that carry through
One
to
of the
this day.
reasons
Yeah.
that socialism's taken such a big bite in Europe is the socialists of World War One didn't die.
They ran just like the ones from Vietnam.
The old families that led things, the bright and smart.
We selected for cowardice.
Yeah.
Not simply on a genetic level, although it could be argued that as well. We selected for cowardice by the ones that lived and then passed their values on to the next generation were the ones that did not go.
Yep, that's true.
Richard Brown, latest Herculean scroll decoded. Hey Jim, your TDF orders for your anti-ground pterodactyl arms test are ready.
Read between the lines, Richard.
Oh, Tiffany, it is good to see you. Oh, Lord have mercy,
Yes.
good to see you. Well, it's good to see you being coherent. So,
Yes, the first post by her, I told her that she was letting out her inner kitten.
Yeah.
And hopefully she didn't take that wrong. It was not, she wasn't coordinated enough to hit keys in the right order.
meow, meow, meow,
So
meow.
it looked like when a cat walks across the keyboard. It was adorable, and I was ecstatic to see it because
Yeah.
it meant she was on and trying.
Please tell me you've seen the promo materials for Giant Squealing Robots, Tiffany.
I'm sure she has. We are also in one of our rare moments. So most of the ads in the Raconteur Press anthologies are fake ads.
Yeah.
I mean, no one's
They're funny, but-
seriously recruiting for the International Force of Zargons or whatever that one was.
We're not? Shit,
Seen
be
a
right,
few
shit,
of 'em.
be right back.
But we've done real ads for King Harv's and the Comfy anthologies, and there will be a real ad for Rex Regis, which is Tiffany's first novel,
Yep.
in Giant Squeeing Robots.
Good.
So, and I even put in a clause saying it was a real ad, so people would realize it wasn't one of our silly ads.
Oh, Jagamore. Buying overrunning SCO pizza boxes from eBay for parts. Who stocks 40 pins Scuzzy One drives? Not many people.
I heard old pizza boxes, and I'm like,
There's a whole bunch of applications that are that we should disregard, apparently.
Yeah, most of us got rid of those Scuzzies a long time ago.
Don't recall a marshmallow story. You picked the stories.
oh, the marshmallow ad is because of the art was just too cute. Actually, that Sarah Clitheroe did that one,
Okay.
and it was just a cute robot. So we do that a lot with the ads.
Yeah.
I mean, some of them are directly related to the anthology, but some of them are just related to the theme
Yeah.
of the
And
anthology.
some of them are just somebody, hey, babe,
Yeah.
goes off on a riff and it gets turned into an ad.
Yeah.
Oh, look, that's going to be an advert.
Well, the process for us in ads, and we're opening up the curtain, letting people see behind it, is
Very little secrets here.
yeah, no.
Yeah.
I realize I'm breaking publisher rules or something, but
I do the art and the designs. I very rarely, once in a blue moon, but I very rarely write the
copy.
ad copy.
Yeah.
The ad copy is our zany staff. We have one channel where all the ideas get dumped. And I go through that and mine that for gold nuggets of hilarity, and then create the ads that go in the books.
Oh God, John Van Stryke dug one out, SCSI tape drive and a card, and it still works.
Yeah.
When he was cleaning up.
Chris and I had a computer that used, I've never seen this, an IBM Endless cassette about that
Yeah.
big, and it was called IBM Endless. Apparently, it was a endless loop, and worked like a charm. I've never seen those
No.
since.
Well, the
When I
memory on it
learned-
was so small, though.
Yeah. I was going to say, when I was learning computer and learning a language in high school, I was learning BASIC on a Commodore 64. And what little we did record, because we didn't have the space to record much, went onto a cassette tape.
Yep. Tiffany, you did everything you were supposed to do.
Yeah, Tiffany, do not worry.
No, you did
Do
everything.
not worry. We have been worried about you, and we are trying to make sure that you are
You
taken
did
care of.
you did
Yeah.
fine. Oh, 8-track tape. These were tiny little.
Yeah.
Eight
It was like a
track-
Eight
cassette.
tracks are big.
Yeah, these were
Fire
tiny.
track,
IBM
probably.
Endless was itty bitty little.
Yeah, they were a cross between a dictaphone tape and a cassette tape.
Okay.
I'll take your word for it.
Because I know later on, gosh, I don't remember what era this was, but later on there were itty bitty little tapes that you could find for like answering machines and recording
Mhm.
that were like tiny cassette tapes,
Yeah.
just a couple inches long.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, my first personal PC was an IBM AT. And I got it from a friend who worked for IBM. And I got a disc that had a lightning upgrade on it, which took it from 4 megahertz to 8 megahertz clock speed.
that's pretty good. I mean, that's double.
He doubled the hamsters.
Oh,
Yeah.
Stone knives and bear skins. Like what?
hamsters bite. Hamsters are brutal little critters.
Yeah.
However, or so I've been told, if you take a shop vac and you switch it from suck to blow, you can launch a hamster about 20 feet.
Does it survive? The hamster I had to deal with belonged to one of my daughters,
Yeah.
and it kept getting out of its cage. And it bit.
Unfortunately, with shop vacs, before anybody asks, I know you will. No, I was not able to get the monkey to fit into the
I don't
tube.
think there are any shop vacs big enough to do that with a monkey. I mean, there's some
Yes,
pretty
there
small
are.
monkeys. Yeah, okay.
There are.
I
trust
stand
me.
or well sit corrected.
Tom makes a good point. Might be able to sell those SCSI systems to Russians to upgrade their space program. Yes.
I had a moment. So I graduated with my bachelor's degree a mere 8 years ago. And when I walked into one of the buildings to take a class, I walked in and you immediately faced a wall, and the hallway split in 2 different directions. They had the wall turned into a glass case technology museum. And I suddenly aged, staring it through the glass at computers that I had worked on when I was.
Yeah.
Let me guess, not for lack of try. You would be correct, sir. Well, quite honestly, okay. Everybody know what a vervet is, right? A vervet monkey.
Yeah.
They're spawns of Satan.
Oh God, Tiffany.
Luc-
Gateway 2000.
Lucifer's dingleberries.
Yeah.
They didn't- allegedly, if you take the reinforced fiber board that pipes come in, and you put a smear of peanut butter about halfway down, and then you put some chemicals in one end and sealed, with a fuse. You can get a vervet to crawl halfway down it after the peanut butter before launch. And you can get about 100 yards with a vervet. They're not very aerodynamic, and they miss the target every time. No matter how Kentucky windage with a vervet doesn't work.
Yeah.
I wanted to spin stabilize them, but we couldn't figure out how to spin stabilize a vervet.
Yeah, I remember the bowling ball cannon.
Yes.
Trying to aim that damn thing. we could never get them to fill the holes in, the finger holes.
Because they whistle.
Because you launch it, and the finger holes would give you some kind of
curve.
Uh-huh.
Or multiple curves.
Yeah.
We kept trying to hit this car that was about 400 yards out. We hit both sides of it. We hit in front of it. We hit behind it. Never did hit that son of a bitch.
Michael Cosby, does a fur burn off during flight? I'm not sure if it was during flight or during launch. But honestly, who cares?
Yeah. Yeah, Winkle Red. It was siege artillery.
One of the things that did not appear when I wrote the story of the trebuchet and the bowling ball, one of the things that did not appear was we did not disassemble a trebuchet right after we destroyed Isaac Huey's Range Rover. The trebuchet lasted a little while longer. The trebuchet got dismantled right after a baboon air assaulted into a patrol of very impressive Nigerian high command army officers. A whole bunch of gilt and air assault baboon. And then the trebuchet went away. What?
That's bad.
You think it's bad? It took us down there 2 hours to get the little bastard to get in the loop.
Well, you know, I saw an ad the other day for a mechanical trebuchet made out of metal.
I will say this was made out of metal. The disappointing thing was after the baboon darted in, it shook its head and walked off.
Yeah.
And that was a lot of effort for just scaring the crap out of some army or some Nigerian army generals.
Yeah. Yeah, this one it's metal, and it's built with a folding arm.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
And when that thing fires, it apparently puts the object quite a ways downrange.
Yeah. Well, that's a walking arm. It's kind of the technical term is walking arm trebuchet.
Yeah.
And
but it's apparently tunable.
Oh,
yeah. I can see the mind turning already.
No.
No, you can't go get a pump jack and take it apart and use parts.
There's plenty of abandoned pump jacks up. How'd you know what the hell I was thinking? The hell?
Because great minds think along the same lines.
Tiffany, you're moving to another facility? What's up?
Yes.
Oh, rehab.
Yes.
My bad. Okay. So
rehab sucks, but do it.
Good enough for rehab. It's going to suck, but it's better than the alternative.
So, since she's not going to do it,
what? Oh, yes.
Cedar has a book out.
I do have a book out. Finally, at long last, the second book in the sequel to Tanager Sledgelings.
So when's the next one coming out?
Currently the novella that I'm serializing on my Substack is set in the same world. And once I'm done with that, I'm trying to decide if I'm going to start on book number 3 and the completion of the Tanager trilogy, or if I go back to the next book in the Possum Creek Massacre world.
Yeah, that is a kick-ass cover.
Thank you. Yes. It took me some time to decide on what I wanted to do with the cover, because the genre is a cozy science fiction. It's a family story. It is, it's not military science fiction. It's not, there are pirates in it, but there's no direct combat. And there are children involved, and a dog, and then a puppy. So it's a small story. It's a story of a trader's ship. So it's not supposed to be high stakes, high drama.
Right.
Yeah. So trying to do a cover for that was, how do I signal this? Well, we put the girls on the cover, first of all.
Yeah. Also, I want to note, since I had gone looking and couldn't find him, Lloyd Bean, who is a friend of ours, is a writer.
Lives about 20 miles that way.
Yeah. And I was bitching at him about the fact that none of his stuff was on Kindle.
Really?
No, he's got stuff on Kindle.
Well, it turns out that you have to look for him under L.A. Beam II.
Yes.
BEH, the hotel, M is in Mike.
Yeah, because if you look up Lloyd Beam,
No, his
that's
pen
his
name,
father.
Yeah.
Ah,
So his pen name,
And his father's stuff is not on Kindle.
right? His stuff is L.A. Beam.
Yeah.
And
Bravo Echo Hotel Mike.
So
yeah.
learn from my screw up. Don't screw up.
Yeah, no, and he's got some really fun stuff out there.
Yeah.
His oh my gosh, The Martian Aria is the first one I read of his, and it is a really good colonization of Mars story, and well worth going back and reading, even though it's one of his earlier works. There's a little bit of rough edges, but I think I almost like that to over polished. I like a little where the story is very real and very present. I like that kind of book better than something that's been polished until all of the author's voice has been rubbed off, which Lloyd doesn't do.
Yeah.
Speaking of Monkey Chunk and 3000, I noticed the other day, yesterday, that the FBI union,
Yes.
Benevolent Association, or whatever the hell, is all up in arms because FBI agents might be going on lists.
Yeah. If they were investigating January the 6th, they will be on the list.
Goodness. FBI is worried about being put on lists.
Yeah.
I know. I was
First time?
thinking about the deep irony of that statement.
Yes.
First time?
Oh, Tiffany says all of her food is in a tube in her nose.
Oh.
That sucks.
Yeah. No.
I'm here to tell you, having been on multiple lists, you're late to the party, guys.
Yeah.
I mean, heck, I think most of us compete to see how many lists we can be on.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you got the FBI agents on the list. Which American isn't?
Yeah.
Courtesy of the FBI, I might add.
Well, evidently, the Americans that weren't on lists are the FBI.
Yeah.
So by their very exclusion, they're on a list.
Yeah. And John says, I was on the Clinton list. Yeah.
I'm not sure what lists I'm on anymore.
I know I was on the Alder James list.
Don't get me started about that sort of crap.
I am. Not
Really?
that list. I am too young and innocent to be on any list.
Yeah. You're a writer. You're in trouble.
Considering that the FBI was going on putting conservative Catholics on lists.
Yes. And anybody that was pro-life.
Well, that would do it.
And anybody that was a veteran.
Yeah, they had lists of veterans.
Yeah.
And now they're all upset because they're going on lists.
Yeah. Greg says, I'm saving the watch, Cedar.
Welcome to the party, pal.
Yeah.
Speaking of voice, Rita is everybody knows Rita's an opera singer, right? When she gets a frog in her throat, it's biblical.
She's being quiet over there, probably giving you a dirty look.
She
is.
is.
I don't know, it's the back of my head.
Dagamore says, I had a chat with about that list with the poly guy. Yeah.
I'm actually on one of the lists. I actually had to explain to Lizzie what being P&G'd from Madagascar meant. I literally got on a P&G list of Madagascar. That wasn't our FBI though. That one was not my fault.
You can't go visit the lemurs.
I don't mind lemurs and bush babies. I don't mind.
Yeah.
They don't trip my monkey hating.
They have big, soft, pleading eyes.
So do monkeys.
Some of them, not all of them.
Hey, James, how's the job search going? James is another one of the guys that short notice got canceled by his company because he's a
James
software guy.
Oh,
Copley?
yeah,
Yeah.
Copley's
Okay. I was going to say, we know a lot of James.
on. Right.
James's, Dave's,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
Sarah's.
Yeah.
Oddly,
Amanda's.
Greg's, because Greg
Greg's.
is my dad's name.
Yeah,
Resumes out.
yeah, he's got resumes out.
How are
Well,
you? How are you about moving, James?
Texas is nice, James.
Yeah,
Yeah, and Austin is hiring IT guys.
Oh my gosh, yes. Elon's hiring so many people.
Yeah.
I am also about to start throwing resumes out there. I was going to take some time off after this contract ends at the end of March, and the mortgage company let us know that our mortgage is going up because our property taxes are going up, or property insurance is going up. So
Yeah.
it is
Sorry,
what it
Cedar.
is. Oh no, actually part of it's our fault, because when we dig out the new roof, we also disclosed that we have hardwood flooring and we now have stone countertops, and so we've upgraded the house. So we needed the insurance to know that, so if something happens to the house,
Right.
we get to replace it with similar materials. But it means it's going to cost a little more. So when my contract ends, I'm still going to take a little bit of time off, but I need to have another job to step into.
Yeah.
I can't just drift aimlessly making art and I don't know, what's the artist stereotype?
yeah,
We don't know nothing about no stereotypes around here.
yeah. Dagamore says I had to move 3,000 miles for a decent IT job, Arizona to Virginia. Now he's working for the Navy, but he's an Army guy. Sorry about that, but the Navy needs good folks, even if they are former Army.
I mean, it's wetter in Virginia.
Yeah.
From the perspective of the gardener here, so
Uh,
I had walked in the house yesterday. Like I said, I was wearing shorts and t-shirt, flip flops.
Mhm.
I walked outside, thought I got to mow this lawn.
yeah,
Mhm.
It's February 3rd, and I didn't mow my lawn.
I remember I mowed on New Year's Day one year in Florida because I was so pissed at the next door neighbor because he'd thrown a party till 3 o'clock in the friggin' morning.
So you went out and made a noise.
I went out and made as much noise as I could
Uh-huh.
at 6:30 because I had to go into work at 8.
Uh-huh. Oh.
Yeah, Bill says haven't been looking super hard because I need downtime after the last 3
No
years.
kidding.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, and
Understandable.
that's exactly it, Bill. I mean, the same thing, and I think he and I actually talked about this. I've had 3 years with no PTO, no holidays off. I've worked all the holidays that were on a weekday, no benefits, and it would be nice to just have a couple of weeks of breathe before I dive back into whatever the next job looks like.
Oh, James, I'm sorry to hear that.
just found out his last dog has cancer.
Oh no.
That
Ugh.
sucks.
Yeah.
Dogs.
They are with us for too short a time.
Yeah.
We do not deserve dogs.
Nope.
Cats, on the other hand.
Yeah,
Not my
not
cats.
going there.
Don't mind cats.
Mine keeps waking me up with cold nose to the face at 4:30 in the morning.
Well, that's your own damn fault for having a cat.
Yeah, well, I mean,
I noticed that somebody was honking about cats back there, who was the same person that wound up me trying to rehome a dependent cat. What?
nothing wrong with having a tender heart.
Ted says, "Cat, you mean rehome our furry overlords?" Yeah,
The Jodies are coming back. We must have a female cat heater in the neighborhood somewhere.
uh, yeah, John. And the other thing is, with being a 1099 and working out of another state, is you get hit in that state for taxes in addition to being hit in your state of residence for taxes.
Oh yeah, this is why even though I'm planning on trying to find another remote job where I'm working from home,
Yeah.
I am not open to companies that are located in California or Massachusetts because
Yeah.
I don't trust either state
Ooh.
to not tax me coming and going.
Yeah.
California, well, they're desperate for money.
Yeah, John, you better have a very good accountant, and that's for damn sure, and not be working for anybody in California. Dagamore, that's true. However, usually you've got to fight them, and usually they will only accept the previous year's tax return.
I don't trust California. Period.
So, having dealt with that, where you have to have proof that you actually paid the other state, and having a submitted tax claim is not good enough for most states. And we've wasted another hour of your time, folks. So
I'm out of Pepsi.
timed that one perfect, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like sleeping in your own bed on a regular basis. That's a nice thing to do too.
Before we leave, I would like to point out that Cedar is artist guest of honor at FinCon.
No,
Yes.
Nick?
no, I'm artist guest of honor at PCon in September.
Or pecan.
I am a panelist at FenCon.
Yeah.
Panels to be determined because I told them basically put me where you need me.
Yeah.
So that'll be interesting.
Yes.
Yeah, we haven't seen that one yet.
And Jim and I and Cedar and a whole bunch of the Rack Press folks are going to be at FinCon.
Mhm.
Y'all should come and have a good time.
Yeah.
It's always a
Weekend after next, yes.
Yep.
And my sailor boy will be there with me. So he's taking leave. He'll be in this coming Friday.
Tiffany, just do your PT and you'll get home.
Yep.
just
One small step at a time, Tiffany.
We're all praying for you, lady.
just do what they tell you,
Yeah.
and you're gonna be all right. All right. Just don't push it.
Yeah.
Don't be Ian stupid.
Yeah.
You're not not me. You're not tough enough to be Ian stupid. Okay.
And remember, don't sweat the petty stuff. Don't sweat the sweaty stuff. And don't get glared at by Rita.
And glare, that was a really
We'll
odd
see you
look.
on Thursday, folks. Bye-bye.
Ian's not tough enough to be Ian stupid.
I'm still here.